Hello everyone, I'm Batpan, back with over 100 friends. Thank you so much for helping us reach 100 subscribers. In this video, we'll be diving into part 1 of creating an NPC system, just like the one in Fears to Fathom. Today, we're focusing on building the AI NPC system that will follow us around. We'll finish up the system in the upcoming parts, and once they're uploaded, you'll find the links to all of them in the description. This video is part of a series covering Unity tips and tricks, and this video specifically is part of a series on recreating functions from Fears to Fathom. Oh, and by the way, I recently published my own retro horror game. You can check it out with the link in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All the files used and created in this video will be available on my GitHub, which is also linked in the description. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be amazing. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can tell me any comments, any opinions, or any suggestions you have in the comments below. Let's put on the mask and begin. So first thing first, we need to add the AI from package manager into our project. So we need to go to window, package manager. I have it installed. If you don't have it, you can search for it here. I think it was AI navigation. Yes, it is. I have it. You can click on install and add it to your project. This thing is going to appear here, and you can click on this show nav mesh to show where the areas that are baked. So by default, I don't have anything. We need to go here, click on this plus, go to AI nav mesh surface, and once it's been added, you can click on this bake, and it will automatically bake the areas for you. As you see, this is a wall, and now we need an AI, an object to give the AI to. I'm going to be using this model that I actually used in my other video where I created the AI system. This video is actually kind of the same thing, but in this video, we're going to kind of do it like Fears to Fathom. And because of that, this video is going to be like 2 or 3 parts. This AI will just follow us in this video. So I added this model here. I need to give it a texture. I'm going to create a new material. I'm going to call it AI. I'm gonna drag and drop this material to it. I'm gonna give it this texture. It's okay. It's actually very big, so I'm just gonna make him 0.5. It's actually very short, 0.7 maybe. Yeah, 0.7, maybe it was 0.6 is okay. So we need to give him an AI. So first I'm gonna add a component. I'm gonna give him a box collider, so he won't go through us when he's walking. So I'm gonna, make it like this. This is okay. After that, we need to give him a nav mesh agent, which is actually the AI. So we're just gonna give him a nav mesh agent, and I'm gonna unpack its prefab. So right click prefab, unpack prefab completely. The nav mesh agent has been added. We can give it this, speed and different things. And as its AI, it is here. I'm gonna make its height the same as him. And I think that is enough. This is the agent, and this is the box collider. The next thing we're gonna create is the animation for it. I want it to be on idle by default. Then I'm gonna give him, like different animation. So by default, I'm gonna click on this add component. I'm gonna add an animator. It needs an avatar. By default, this model doesn't have an avatar. So I'm gonna click on this model, the model that I, dropped here. I'm gonna go to its rig. I'm gonna put it on generic and click and create from this model. And I'm gonna click on this apply. And when you open it, you can actually see an avatar. Then I'm gonna click on my friend idle here as its avatar. I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna drag and drop my avatar to this avatar section, or you can even click on the circle and find it, but this way it is easier. Then it needs an animator controller. For its animator controller, I'm going to create an animator controller here. Animation animator controller. I'm going to call it AI follow. Again, I'm going to select my friend. I'm going to drag and drop my animator controller to here. Then I'm going to double click to open up my animator controller. If you don't have this animator tab, you can go to window, animation, animator tab. And by default, it is like right here. You can, put it here. I usually put it here. It is actually easier. So it needs an idle animation. To put the animation here, you can select your animation. You can find it. Click on here and find it. This is my animation. I can duplicate it. So hold Control, press D to duplicate it and put it outside of this model. I'm gonna call it idle. Then I can, click on this loop time, so the animation will loop, and I'm gonna drag and drop it here. This is the default and idle state, and I have other animations. The walking animation, duplicate it again. I'm gonna call it walk. I put it inside this animation. I have one more for the run, so I duplicate it, and I'm gonna rename it to run, and I'm gonna put it again in here. So we have idle, walk, run. As I said in the follow AI video, you can actually watch it by clicking on top of your screen right now, or get to the link in the description. So I'm going to create a condition, click on this plus, go to parameters, click on this plus. I'm going to create a new integer. I'm going to call it capital C as for condition. I'm going to say for whenever this C is equal to 1, and we can actually change this C value inside the code, I want to walk. And when it is 2, I want to run. And when it is 0, I want to be on idle. So we can actually do that very easy here. So we're going to right click on here, make a transition from from idle to walk. And in here, I'm gonna uncheck this has exit time. I'm gonna click on this plus, and I'm gonna say for the condition, if C equals 1, I want to go from idle to walk. And whenever I'm on walk and I create a new condition, again, I click on this has exit time, and I say if C equals 0, when I'm walking, I make C equal to 0, I go to this idle animation. And again, when I'm idle and this C equals to 2, so when I go from 0 to 2, so idle to run, I'm gonna make his condition in here. So uncheck this has exit time, click on this plus, if C equals 2, I want to go from idle to run. And like we created for the walk, I'm gonna make another transition from run to idle, and I'm gonna say if C equals 0, we have to go back to this idle animation. As easy as that. And one thing more, when we're walking and we want to go to running, we don't have to come here then go here. So we're gonna make a new transition from walk to run, and we're gonna say if C equals 2, and when we're on walking, we go from walking to running. It's actually the same thing as walk to idle and idle to run. It is not actually that hard. Again, for the running, we're gonna say if C equals 1, we go from run to walk. It actually created a triangle. That's actually how to create the animation system for it. And we just have to modify the C value inside this AI script we're gonna create. So everything is now set up for this AI and its animation. Right now, I'm gonna create a new folder. I'm gonna call it Fears to Fathom NPC system. And I'm gonna create a folder for its scripts. Again, I say all the scripts and all the files used in this video will be put inside my GitHub. You can get to it with the link in the description. So right click, create a new mono behavior script or a new C# script. I'm gonna call it Fears to Fathom NPC system for the AI. I'm gonna double click to open it up. So we're gonna be using an AI in this script. We're gonna be needing a reference to the AI nav mesh agent. So we're gonna add this up here using Unity Engine .ai, which would actually let us use a reference for the nav mesh agent in here. Then I'm gonna open up some space here to add some references here. So we need 3 things here. First thing first, we need a reference to its AI, so we can actually give it its destination and speed and other stuff. So we can give it public, because I'm gonna give this script to my AI. I don't need to put it on public, so I'm just gonna say nav mesh agent. I'm gonna call it agent. I'm gonna kind of do the same thing for this animator. So animator, we need a reference to this animator. I'm gonna call it animator with the small a. Then we need a reference to the object we want this AI to follow, which in this case would be just the player. So we're just gonna say public game object. I'm gonna call it, for example, object to follow. You can give it any name you want. I'm gonna give it object to follow. The important thing you're gonna add inside this void start, you're gonna give a reference to this agent and animator. As we know, agent is actually equal to the nav mesh agent that we have on the same object with the script on it. So we're just gonna say agent equal to get component nav mesh agent. Animator is kind of the same thing. So animator equal to get component animator. As easy as that. Instead of saying, like public nav mesh agent and giving it through the editor, I just don't make it public and I give it from the script. Because if you put the script on multiple AIs, you don't have to give it all one by one, and it gets missing reference error. The next thing we're gonna create is we need to go inside void update. We need to create a new float to actually calculate the distance between the player and the AI. So we're just gonna create a new float. I'm gonna call it distance, which is equal to vector3 dot distance. Vector 3 actually has a reference for this distance, and the distance is between transform.position, the position of this object with the script on, to the object to follow. We actually said object to follow dot transform.position. So it's going to calculate the distance between us, the player, the FPS controller, and the object with the AI script, and it will put it inside a value of distance, which would actually update each frame. So in here we're gonna say, for example, if distance is less than 5. So if the distance between us and the AI is less than 5, we want this AI to be on idle animation and we don't want it to, follow us anymore. Then we're gonna say else if the distance between us and the AI is bigger, equal to 5, and distance is less than, for example, 13 or 12 maybe, we're gonna say we want it to be on walk animation and follow us with the speed of, for example, 2 or 3. Then we're gonna say else if the distance is bigger than 12, bigger or equal to 12, we're gonna say we want the speed to be faster and we want the AI to run. So we need to actually create more things in here. So for this idle, we want the AI to follow us no longer. So we're just gonna say agent that is stopped equal to true. there's a value on the agent which will actually make the agent no longer follow us. And we need to make his animator put on idle animation. We created a reference to this animator. As we saw in the previous minutes, if I put the condition, the capital C on 0, the animation would be on idle. So we're just gonna say animator dot set integer. We're gonna give it the name of capital C. Be careful, the capital and the small version is important, so put it on capital C, and I'm gonna give it the int number of 0. So when I'm on idle, it's gonna be on 0, and for walk, again I'm gonna say agent.stop is equal to false. We don't want the AI to stop. Then I'm gonna give the animator dot set integer with the capital C an amount of 1 because we wanted to actually go on walking animation. Kind of do the same thing for the runs. We can copy and paste it here. Instead of 1, just give it an index of 2, so we're gonna actually run the running animation. So for the walking, we need to give it a different speed than the running. So for the walking, I'm just gonna say agent.speed equal to 3, and for the running, I'm just gonna say agent.speed equal to 6, for example. So we have different speeds for different times he's walking. We actually need to give it a destination, an object to follow for walking and running. So I'm just gonna say agent.set destination. For the destination, we want the object to follow. The object to follow, which is actually us, dot transform dot position. And we kind of have to do the same thing for the run, so we can copy and paste it here. There's actually the same AI script that we created in the previous video. It's actually everything that we covered in that video, so you can go ahead and check it out. So I'm gonna select my friend. I'm gonna drag and drop the script to it, the AI script. For the object to follow, I'm just gonna give it the FPS control. You can drag and drop it here. You can click on the circle to find it. You can go ahead and check it out. As you see, he is following us. You see there's a bug. You see the animations clip, and that is because we didn't put all the animations on loop. So we need to go to this model tab and select this run and walk and click on this loop time, so both of them are on loop time. That's exactly how to do it. We can go ahead and check it out again. So as you see, he is walking and he runs when the distance is enough. He walks, and when he reaches the distance, he is on idle. And we cannot go through him. And when we come here, he runs toward us. He will come from here. When he reaches us, he will just be here. So that's part 1 on how to create an AI, an NPC system like Here's to Fathom in Unity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll actually cover more in the next part. If you did enjoy this video, a like would be amazing. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can tell me any comments, any opinions, or anything you want to say in the comment section. I would be very happy to answer them. Thanks again for the 100 subs. I'm very happy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.